Hello the internet! It is Wednesday the 7th of March 2018. Just gonna stop this. I've just picked up some very interesting beer and I want to go and drink it, but I'm not going to drink it here. It's such a beautiful afternoon. Let's get on the electric skateboard, go down maybe Crookhaven Heads, somewhere where we can see a sunset over water. You know I like that. And we'll crack these beers and I'll tell you a little bit about why they're so special. This is the end of the road. Crookhaven Heads. From here on, we walk. And I carry this ridiculously heavy skateboard. It's pretty cool to cruise around on it, but then when you get to somewhere where you have to carry it, it really grinds my gears. How's this for a spot to sit and chill? This is me right here. So the special beer that I've brought down with me today, this is called FOO Town, and it's a joint venture between Young Henry's Brewery and the Foo Fighters. Now it's called FOO Town because the brewery, Young Henry's, is up in Newtown in Sydney, and the Foo Fighters, FOO Town, you can see the tie in there. There are a couple of things to talk about before we crack this open. First thing is that this is an extremely limited edition beer. It's extremely expensive. A carton of this beer, so a slab, 24 cans in a single package, 85 Australian dollars. Now I'll put little translations to your local currencies so you can see just how expensive this beer is. Don't get me wrong, beers and alcohol in general in Australia are very expensive. This one jacks that price up because of who it is and what it is. Second thing to note on this, I don't know for a fact, but I would say it's missing a whole bunch of text on the back there. It's like the graphic artist kind of did their work. They left a spot there for something which never got filled. And the reason I think, this is all speculation, is that this beer is nothing special. It's completely generic, run-of-the-mill rubbish. And that's before I've tasted it, mind you. But if it was something special, they would have written on the back all the cool things that are about it, right? So it feels like to me, maybe it was a rushed effort. So this beer came out in time for their world tour when it hit Australia earlier. Where are we now, March? Earlier in February, or was it late January? Their world tour, which was called, Concrete and Gold, the Concrete and Gold tour. I'm not a huge fan of the band, so I didn't really follow it, but I feel like this beer was rushed. Maybe the initial plan was to do something really cool and like really interesting, and that's why they left this slot open to fill that with some text. In the end, I reckon they just went, get it out there. We can't put anything there because there's nothing exciting in here. In fact, the ingredients on this thing, it just says preservative-free and vegan-friendly beer made in Australia, brewed and packaged under contract under our watchful eye. Alcohol by volume 4%, so it's quite a weak beer. Contains malted barley and wheat. That's it. Please enjoy responsibly. Yada yada yada. Oxford, Wilford Street, Newtown. The only mention of the Foo Fighters is in the branding, Young Henry's and Foo Fighters, and the name of the beer, FOO Town. I understand it's a lager. It only has malted barley and wheat. To me, that's going to be a lager. I don't know for a. Oh, there you go, 4% lager. So it is. It's a 4% lager. 85 bucks a slab of this. Who's having the last laugh there, Mr. Grohl and Mr. Young Henry? Enough chat, let's crack this sucker open. It's what you'd expect. It's a pretty light lager. It's tasty, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad beer, it's tasty. It's hoppy, it's got a hoppy flavor. I'm trying to think of ways to describe this to justify 85 bucks a slab, and I can't. It's just a beer. If you're a fan of the band, you will probably seek this out as perhaps a collector's item. You might want to check your local stockers. If you're Australian, this is only available in Australia. I guess it's kind of fitting that this is just sort of standard run-of-the-mill beer, as Foo Fighters is kind of standard run-of-the-mill commercial radio rock, really, and that's kind of what this beer kind of feels like in terms of beers. Foo Fighters have just constantly bored me over the years. The only thing that I really liked about them was when they first began, the self-titled album with the pistol on the front. And I thought that the single, This Is a Call, I think that single had two other tracks on it, Winnebago and Podunk or Podunk. I thought those two songs were absolutely off the scales. But then Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Anyway, I did bring a couple more. I brought 3 in total. I want to have one in a schooner glass. So I want to tip it into a schooner glass and show you the coloring and the shape. See what I did there? That'll give you an idea of what the beer looks like, as well as what I think it tastes like. I'd also like my beer to be a bit stronger, 4%. I guess they're catering for all the young Foo Fighter fans that probably shouldn't be drinking. Anyway, while we are here, look at this area in front of me. This is incredibly beautiful. Check this out. That's going to be a pretty nice sunset happening right there. Whenever I look down there, it makes me want to sneeze. Does looking at the sun on the water make you want to sneeze? Now, while I'm sitting here enjoying the Foo Fighters Foo Town Lager, I could also throw to an NSD, not an NSD, an NSD of a band that I haven't got the t-shirt of, because I'm not a huge fan. The Foo Fighters. So I photographed them in 2011 in Adelaide, at Adelaide Oval, a very big show. It was a great show. They did put on a really good performance. If you like the Foo Fighters, you might want to use this coupon code, GIVESAMINUTE-Foo Fighters, and the link in the description of this video will tell you where to do that. And what you can do with that link is click it and punch in that code, and you can purchase prints of the Foo Fighters that I've taken for 15% off. Here's the photos. So that's one down, and now I'm on to the next one. Now this is the one I'm going to pour into a schooner glass so you can see what it looks like. Well, don't let it go to waste. There's something better about drinking a beer out of a glass like this. It doesn't change the flavor, but it does make the sensation of drinking a beer a lot more enjoyable. And I really love the fact that I'm in a place with such beauty like this. This is Australia. This is an absolutely stunning part of this country. I'm lucky enough to live down this way, and there's just this, it's a stunning part of the world, and what better place to enjoy a great beer, or a beer in this case. Cheers to the Foo Fighters, and cheers to Young Henry for manufacturing or labeling a beer with the Foo Fighters name on it. I'm probably writing it off more than I need to. It's actually quite nice, to be honest. Would I buy this again? Absolutely not. I like my flavored beers, heavier beers like stouts and like dark beers with lots of guts and lots of alcohol to start with. Just more flavor, more pack, more punch. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I hate the taste. I'm surprising myself at how many Foo Fighters quotes from lyrics I actually know. This is such a beautiful area. I can't guarantee it, but I don't think I'll ever go getting tired of you. As this gets a little bit lower into the second of these beers, I've got another confession to make. All right, that's where I'm gonna stop that crap. So we got some gnarly clouds coming in over the, what would that be, Gerringong, 7 Mile Beach area. I gotta sneeze again. Whenever I catch that in my vision, it makes me wanna sneeze. Here comes another one. Look at it. That's very strange that it's just when I go past that line of sunlight, bam, makes me want to sneeze. So we have the last beer here, the last Young Henry's Foo Fighters Foo Town. This one I'll drink from the can. My ultimate recommendation for this beer is you would need to be a Foo Fighters fan to spend the cash to get this beer. It's not going to revolutionize beer tastes and beer critics. Mind you, Young Henry's, they do make some very nice beers. They've done some connections with, I believe they did a beer with UMI, and they did a beer with, I'm gonna say the Dune Rats, I think. If I've got that wrong, someone let me know. But either way, they do tie their beers into bands, and I think that's a great thing. You know I love my music. In this instance, this one's not that great, but you know what? It's just part of the game. Let's crack this last one open. That sun has now hit the cloud and it's gone just above the horizon. We're gonna see a sunset here. It's gonna be spectacular. I'm gonna stay right here. It's gonna be a direct line of light across the ocean. It's been making me sneeze. It's gonna have to pay off somehow with a beautiful sunset. And I'm gonna show you it. Told you that'd be a great sunset, didn't I? It didn't last very long, but it was still very, very pretty. And the best thing about it, there'll be one more tomorrow night. And speaking of tomorrow night, I've got a homebrew that's actually coming ready to drink tomorrow night, but I think that we should maybe go home and crack one early. It's called Bennon's Brutal Brew, and I feel like it's everything that the Foo Town should have been. So let's go and crack it right now. Oh, that's we're out of time! Town was lame. Oh, that's I ran out of time again on my vlog. If you like what you've seen on my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to support me even further, become a Patreon. Also check out my previous vlog and a random vlog. Don't forget my Lightroom presets, my merch store, and all the other good things that I've got for you in the description of this video. Has that been 20 seconds? Yes, it has!